Hello, my delicious co-creators. Lilou here. I'm in Belgium, in the heart of Europe. Can we say that?
Yes, we can, for sure.
So I'm with you, Brigitte. I'm excited to speak of the. How do we say that in English? Because we just did this interview in French. So I'm thinking French. I've got a strong French accent right now. But it's the human behavior, isn't it? You're a specialist of the human behavior. Can we say that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. You're interested about human beings.
Yeah, I'm fond of human being, and particularly of the relationship between people and how people are connected together.
And how we can change. Can we really change?
How we can change? I think we can really change because I experience it. I experience that I have changed my behavior. Even my temper, my character has changed, my personality, I mean. So I think we can change. It's not easy. You have to train regularly, like when you do sport. It's not because you do it once that it's done. So you have to train regularly. But I've experienced big change in my life.
How do change happen? Or is there a ground? Is there ingredients? Is there a process?
Yes, there's a process. A big change can happen, well, first of all, because there's a trauma, because you have an accident or because something huge happened, like somebody dies or you get in a big accident, or you lose your job, or your husband or your wife goes away, or this is usually, that can be the start of a big change. And then a second thing that will make change is because there's a big eureka. I don't know if you say eureka in English. So
Eureka,
yeah.
I think I've heard it. Yeah.
Because one day you understand something. See, this is it, and then change can happen. So it seems that the two start of the change, because something happened or because you understand something. And then if you want this change to carry on, you will have to train. Like it's more like training to make sure that you carry on doing the new habit. Yeah. And in any change, for example, you want to stop eating sugar. One day you take a decision, and then you'll have to train every day not to put any more sugar in your coffee. And then after a month, you realize, oh, I don't like sugar anymore in my coffee. It's not good.
So there's no really easy route, because there's some change that are easier than others. What makes a change difficult to change? I mean, a habit, I guess, difficult to change.
I think things are easy when they make sense for you. Like if suddenly you realize that this is it, and this is your way, this is the way you should do it, then it's very easy. Yeah.
There's like something else that takes over, isn't it? Yeah. It's not anymore from there. Can we say it's from the heart? It's from the heart, or maybe from the guts.
From the guts, yeah, precisely. And it seems that we've just discovered that we have neurons in the heart, and that we have neurons in the stomach, in the belly. So it seems that we have more than a brain. You have a brain here, and maybe we have a brain in the heart, and a brain in the stomach. Yeah, and some changes are very easy because then you realize that you're coherent, and there's something more than just your decision. It's like you become part of something. You become part of something which is wider than you, which is bigger than you. And it's just easy because then you just follow the flow. It's like things happen because they have to happen. Things, it comes naturally. It's like you just open yourself to something that happens.
Can we say there is a spirit of change?
Yeah, I think we can say there's a spirit. Well, I believe there's a spirit of change. And I believe that you can let things happen if you just open your mind and open your heart, and hope for the best. And it's not hoping for the best, just like, thinking, oh, I really hope it's going to happen to me. It's more like meaning it, say, I want the best for me, because I believe I deserve the best. Right. Because
Because I am. Yeah.
Because I am, yeah. Because love is, because because I deserve it. I'm a good person, so this is a good reason to deserve good things.
You used to run a model agency for many years, 20 years maybe. What happened? I know that then after that you went walking in the Himalayas. I mean, there's a lot of people not wanting anymore their current life, and really, but it takes guts to leave.
Well, I don't know. Well, first of all, the model agency. I remember when I was running the model agency, all my friends used to say, "Oh, great! You're running a models agency. What a great job!" And well, yeah, it's great because you have beautiful girls around you and beautiful boys around you, and everything is goes very fast and there's lots of things. But all of a sudden, I realized I was more interested in the person herself, in each human being, that in the fact of getting a cover or a catwalk for a model, that the human being herself was more interesting for me. So it was not a big decision for me to change. It's just that I just follow what came naturally. It was quite
strong signs like that you saw, like go in this direction, go to Himalaya.
No, it was more like an evidence that I had to follow my heart. And I remember very well the image that came to me at that time. I was I was at the I can't say it in English, le bord d'une falaise. At
the not border, because we wouldn't say that, but yeah, on the top of a cliff. Of a cliff.
Yeah. And I said, okay, now you're going to jump. And I knew I was safe, but I had to jump. So this is what I felt when I decided to sell my company. And all my friends told me, well, they were not scared. They told me, well, you're full of good sense, and we believe in you. So I thought, well, if they all believe in me, I should believe in me. So I jumped. And it came to an evidence that I've always wanted to go to the Himalaya. And since I was a kid, I wanted to do this big trip and go and walk for a long time. And I said, okay, if I don't do it now, I probably will never do it. So I went. And that was my best time ever, because I just, I walked during a month with nothing, and I went really high, more than 5,500 meters, so that's quite high. And I walked during a month, dropping everything I had, and at the end I just had very few things, and I realized that the less I had, the better I felt.
Tell us about those moments of silence. And what that represents to you now, because there was truly, and we spoke about that in French, on the French version, but this is quite something.
Well, I loved it when I was in the Himalayas, and I was talking to Nepalese people that I don't speak the language, and they didn't speak my language. So I loved these moments where at the end of the sentence, they stopped. There was a silence, and I was trying to understand what they were saying. And I realized that there was much more to understand in the silence, in these gaps, than while I was talking or while they were talking. So I learned, maybe for the first time of my life, that silence was very important. And I think since then I've taken this habit, or I try to, because it doesn't come naturally. I try to stop, to really stop and then wait a few seconds before the next sentence, and something really interesting happened. So I would push people to do that. Try. Next time you talk to someone, count in your head. Like you wait 3 seconds before you start talking again, and see what happened. It's really interesting.
Yeah. It's like silence creates something, no?
Yeah, it creates something deeper. It creates an intimacy. And I think that silence gives the possibility for something else to happen, emotion to come out, a sign, something else.
And it's okay, because there is a discomfort, huh?
There's a very big discomfort at the beginning, because we're not used to. So if right now, I stopped 3 seconds and we're not used to, you're going to say, okay, she's frozen. There's a problem. And if we do it, in fact, we realize that it's going to be easier for other people to understand what I'm saying and to see what is really happening.
Yeah. Beautiful. Is there some experience or some things, because you, in sessions or that you, in therapies or when you teaching or learning or whatever experience that comes to your mind, that is quite different and special for you? And it's kind of knocking at your door. Are things changing for you right now?
Yeah, a lot of things are changing for me right now. What comes to my mind is that every time I'm lost with a question I cannot answer, I just let it go. And I'm just amazed of what happens. Because most of the time, the answer comes through a sentence that a friend says, a word I read, and I don't know, put on the television, and there's just at this very right moment, the sentence which is said is oh, this is the solution. So things come from everywhere.
Yeah. It has a lot to do with trusting and being trusting of the universe, of life, of yourself.
Trusting the universe, and I think what we just talked before. I think that we are connected to each other, and that we get information much more from other sources than just the verbal source. So maybe this is why when we stop and when there is silence, things happen, because then we get this connection from the ground, from people, from the energy, from the plant. We get all the elements that connect to us and that give us information.
I know your book is coming out, the parents, Zen Parents, but that's in French. So that's in Canada and everywhere, but you're still writing. Maybe it'll be translated one day in English?
Sure. I will love it, but I'm sure it will be translated one day. And yeah, I'll carry on writing because I'm very fond of the business world, of course, because having worked in this industry for a long time, I like the business industry, and I want to carry on writing books because I think it's important to bring to people, while they're working, all this good sense of emotion and love that we usually keep on for a private life. And I think it's important to remember that while we're working, we're still human beings connected to emotion, and we're not different because we are working. So yeah, I do want to write a book to remember, to remind to people that we're not changing because we are leaving home and getting into our office.
Tell us more about that. So, because there's something I didn't get. So could you say it again? Sometimes when you hear it twice, so can you say that again? In a different way.
In a different way, yeah. What I want to say is, very often I hear people telling me, oh, I'm like that at work. No, I'm like that when I'm at home, in my private life. But we're not different. I mean, me, Brigitte, I'm the same person if I work or if I am at home. I can do different things. Maybe I cook when I am at home, and I do other things when I'm working. But I'm not different. And I think there's this big belief that we should, put our emotion apart when we are working, and I don't believe that. I think it's important to let our emotion come out when we are working, and to be able to speak about love when we are working. And the day we're able to do that, I believe that life on earth will be easier. I don't know if that makes more sense.
And that's what you want to bring in the conversation of love to corporate or to business entrepreneurs.
Yeah. This is really...
there's this disconnect between work and life when it's all... But it feels like once we're on our path and doing the work, then there's just life. It's not... Like for me, it just doesn't feel like work, and it is not work. I could never say it's work. You know, the work just is strange kind of thing. It's just an extension. It just is. Why put it on the side? You know, because I guess work maybe for a lot of people is earning money and it's paying the bills and this and that. For me, that's not that. So that's probably why. Is that linked or? Yeah,
precisely. There's a sentence I really love, which is do a work that you like, and you will never work a single day of your life. And I really want, this is a message I really want to give to a lot of people. Find something that you like doing, because then you will never be working. And work is not, it's not something, do you say punition? Yeah, work is not a punition. Working is something great. It's part of life, and we should all be happy to work. I mean, it's not being,
It's not a bad thing.
No. And for that, I think it's important the question of sense is important. What is important for me? What do I like? What do I want to do? And this is the right question that we should ask, not what kind of job can I find? No, this is not a good question.
And also what is natural, because there seems to be like we're all equipped with some kind of very special kind of package linked to our soul, if we can use that word, like there's just really, there is a certain resonance and a certain role I think we're meant to play now. Like really, we're here, what we're here to do.
Precisely. We all have.
It feels different, and it feels different than just regular work. It's more fluid and easier, and it feels good too. But sometimes we don't understand quite the science, and it can be different. Like I know you've been around, emotions have come to you, and you don't know quite what it is, but it's a beautiful thing, I think, to walk through this path of just. Because we're all, some weird things happen to all of us sometimes, but that might be that exact thing. So anyway, I'm rambling now. Here I am talking. Anyway, but thank you so much for accepting to do this interview and welcoming me here in your home in Brussels. Thank you.
Thank you, Lilou.
Big kisses to all co-creators around the world. Much love. Bye-bye.